Hello, everybody in Boma Land. Today is Thursday, April 1st. You might think this is an April Fool's joke, but it's not. It's very real. Here today for another Thursday conversation, as always, with me, Christian Heiner, Stockout Group, Jana, the BAE of Boma, Idaho, and also today we have Mitch and Sean. So, fellas, take a quick sec and introduce yourselves, your company, and what you do for Boma.
All right, my name's Mitch Hensey. I work for Cutting Edge Services. We have offices in Boise and in Denver and in Salt Lake and small one up in Spokane. And so we have a pretty good presence here in the Valley, in the Treasure Valley, but everything out of area, out of state, that's what I do. Business development, national accounts, hustling, chasing, that sort of thing. And business has been pretty good. A lot of multi-site out there, the whole retail apocalypse. I'm not convinced. It seems to be some do and some don't, and there's opportunities out there. And business is good. We seem to be growing, and staying super busy.
Yeah, well, good. And that's kind of the thing with a big retail center, whether it's all the way leased up or not, somebody still has to take care of it. So
it's still there, right? There's
for sure. Yeah. So Sean, tell us about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sean Bucklew here. So I am a board member along with Mitch and Christian and Jana, but I work for Nations Roofs. So we're a commercial roofing company. The company has 31 offices nationwide. I started the local Boise office, and I'm now in a role similar to Mitch's, where I do a lot of national account work. My territory is the kind of the Northwest, so a lot of the larger companies that are stationed here with multi-site, multi-state portfolio. I help coordinate all roofing activities from service, leaks, assessment, and replacement. So that's kind of my role there. And then, of course, helping out with the golf committee at Boma and utility player for Boma. I do whatever is needed to be done.
Exactly. That's kind of what we all are, utility players. Yeah.
I like that term, a utility player.
Yeah. Yep. So that brings us to exactly why we're here today, to talk about golf. The sun is out. It's doesn't look super nice outside of my house right now, but I am getting excited about golf, and I'm also super excited to have a Boma Idaho golf tournament this year because we didn't have one last year for obvious reasons. And in years past, the Boma Idaho golf tournament is one of my favorite days of the entire year. So I am super excited to talk about this. I'm super excited for it to come back. So Mitch, update us, man. Where are we at? Where are we at with golf?
So we think it's going to be on September 9th. Traditionally, it's always been, since going back to the dinosaurs, right? The second Thursday in September. And I don't have any reason to think that it won't be there. We're just waiting for confirmation. But the venue there and the pro there at Banbury Golf Course, they've been fantastic, right? We had the tournament not at Banbury for a couple of years. Going back a little ways, and then we swapped back. Now, it's a great location, centrally speaking, right? But they also do pretty well, right? Their catering staff's really good. They're great in the pro shop. They help us get set up. They're always sort of over-prepared with carts and tables and things. And so, real excited to hopefully have it there again on that day, or it will be there, but on that day. So just waiting for a final confirmation on the date. Now's about the time, really, when the planning of things really starts rolling. And going back, I was looking at our sheets from past years and tournaments. There are a number of people that have been involved kind of on the golf committee, would you say, Sean? That we've got a list of folks each year. And some have stuck around and some are volunteers for the day of or whatnot. But I think we're just about at that time where, okay, let's get it narrowed down and see who's in so that we can start making some assignments. And we've got a couple of wild and crazy ideas for this year. And look, the cards have shuffled a little bit too, right? Conditions are different than they were 2 years ago. And so, we'll have to see how we pull all of the things off, right? Because there's going to be distancing, there needs to be sanitation and, stations and just all that the pandemic's brought onto us. And so, there's going to be a fair amount of planning, and now's about the time when it really starts to get pretty serious with things. Sean, I think you mentioned earlier today that, there's some preliminary shuffling and checking with people that wanted to be interested or involved in the committee. And then, okay, let's go ahead and get together and start planning things and making assignments. I think we're just about there. What do you say?
Yeah. Historically, April is really we kind of get that March hangover from the symposium and all the effort that took, and you need some time to breathe. And then April is looking for the next big event, and so naturally golf is our probably second largest event. And so April is really where we want to start getting everybody back to the fold. It's summer, sun's out, so now people are really starting to get their golf swing back in motion, starting to think about that. So historically we've brought on, we get our committee members in place, we get our volunteers set up, we start having those committee meetings, and then we start reaching out to those loyal BOMA golf fanatics who sponsor every year and try to bring them back into the fold. Make sure, I know we have a lot of sponsorships from 2020 already that will roll over. So we'll start touching base with those folks, and then we'll touch base with the people that we know have. I've made a lot of promises over the last 30 days to people that we'll be doing golf. So to those people, we'll start reaching back out and make sure that we get those loyal people get the first shot at it. And then May is really where we roll out massive to everybody to start getting your sponsorships in before it sells out. Get your tickets in and get rolling.
It's going to sell out. It is going to, for sure. We're already full.
Just going to say that, for BOMA members or companies or your principals that are looking at BOMA, maybe if it's a good fit or how they would make it work, of all the things that BOMA really does, golf is a really easy way once you join to get involved, right? Maybe the easiest, because you're going to a venue where, abracadabra, everybody's there. And, of course, it's a wonderful day. We've enjoyed good weather at the tournament for a number of years going back.
Knock on wood. Knock it off, Mitch.
Right.
When everybody could use kind of a break, and it's just a good networking opportunity where you can kind of take a breath and just kind of enjoy it, whether you golf or not. I mean, Christian, you can talk to that fact. What a great opportunity. Sure, it's nice to be involved and to swing, but even if you don't, there's plenty to be excited about. And it seems like if I were, a new member, let's say supplier or principal member, and I wanted to, jump right in, probably the easiest way, right?
Oh, totally. On
the committee or get a sponsorship and instant exposure, instant 200 best friends, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the easiest ways to do that. I mean, and we all know, who are in the business development space, that, playing golf is a really good way to get, a captive 4 hours with a potential client or business partner or somebody. And so, so get a team, bring some potential clients, and just go have fun.
And even just those whole sponsors. I had one member who played for a number of years and then ended up couldn't play one year and stayed there and manned the hole and talked to people and said it was such a different way to do it, and such a more valuable way.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you talk to everybody, not just the people that were in front and behind you and in your foursome, but you meet with and talk to everybody in that relaxed environment when you're talking about your company, playing a game with them, doing whatever. And I think it's going to be our members miss each other. I field calls all the time from members who are like, when are we getting together? And so, we have a lot of events coming up, right? And we're starting in person. Just to have it on the calendar and have it ready to go. I was going to ask you guys, because I was trying to find it real quick. What annual, is it the 30th annual yet? Because I know we were getting close to that. And so I was trying to find some paperwork from last year, something that would say which annual tournament it was. And I think we're getting close to 30 years if it's not the 30th. And I'm wondering, with our skipped
check the
one,
golf website from last year, Christian, because I usually put it in there.
I'm looking at it. Yes. So I'm looking at it right now. Okay. So the 2020 was going to be the 30th annual.
Yeah.
Okay. So we definitely have to, I don't know how we count this, but we definitely have to have some sort of a celebration for that, whether it's just something in memory of, hand out something in memory of the 30th that never happened. And we move right along to that. We have a moment.
Put the asterisk next to 30th annual and
31st annual with the 30th. I don't know. It's something.
It's still a 30th because we never did the 30th.
It's still,
right?
yeah, it's technically, I think it still is a 30th, yeah.
Do you need to
Yeah,
still
so we'll have to do something special.
I knew it was close. So
we're taking, for those of you that are out there, we're taking advice on if you'd like to see, if you got some ideas, some fun things to do, send them in by all means. We can always use that type of ideas and help on how to make it more engaging, how to make it more fun. I've been on both sides. I've been in the booth and I've been on, in golfing, and it's fun either way you do it. I will say it's one of the best values you can get as a booth sponsor or just volunteering, because you get so much exposure and everybody's very happy, very engaged at the tournament. So it's been fantastic for me, and I get to remember people's names when the more interaction you get. It can be tough when you're trying to stare down 300 members.
Such a challenge for me right now to remember the people. I haven't seen people.
Yeah.
And to see them and go, oh, because I was always really good at that, knowing all the members' names and greeting them when they came and getting to know them, and now we've had a lot of new people join in the last year, and we haven't had a whole lot of face-to-face time. So I do hate to admit that I've been part of the BOMA Golf Tournament, because I chaired it before I was the BAE, right? I was on the board, so I helped out with and I don't know if I chaired it or if Steve Panzella chaired it and I helped him with it. I can't remember. But it has been 21 years.
Oh, gosh.
Out of the 30 years, 21 I've been involved. And let me tell you, we've done a lot of different things over the years as far as, other golf tournaments with other organizations and stuff, my husband and I. And I golfed before we had kids, but this one is so fun. It really is a players tournament, right? And we have to make that clear for people who are coming out to play, that it really is a players tournament, and it's just so much fun. So if you are a die-hard golfer with, you're a scratch golfer and you have a 2 handicap, then prepare to have fun on a different level.
Yes.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
I'd say there's probably 5 teams that play real competitive and shoot a 20 under, and then the rest of them are just out there.
Just having fun.
Yeah, and the rest of us are out there to have as much fun as possible. Yeah.
And you know what? We do have a prize for last place, so everybody wins.
Everybody's a winner.
Right. Yeah, I love that prize, by the way. It's lessons from the pro.
From the pro. I think it's hilarious.
Mixed message, but that's a really good one to pass out. That's a really good
okay. So I have to say, in my 21 years, there's a couple of memories that I want to talk about real quick, just as far as what stood out to me. And many years ago, there was one time where we went and it absolutely poured. I mean, it was a downpour. And this is when we had the tournament, and it wasn't even in September. I don't think it was in June or something. And it was such a downpour. We played a couple holes and just couldn't, the sky opened up or whatever. So all the, half of the people were out underneath the cover at Shadow Valley, smoking cigars. And the other half were inside eating a sandwich, seeing if things would clear up. And I just remember thinking, what are we going to do about this? And everybody just socialized and had a great time. And it still ended up being just so much fun. And some people stuck around, and, when things let up, they went out and golfed. But that was one that I thought, you work so hard to put this thing together, and then you get the day of, and there's nothing you can do about that. There's no way to prepare for that.
So and is this, would you say, is this because it comes to mind right off, and so my question is it a positive memory, like a good memory?
Oh yeah.
Or like, oh no,
sitting inside that little, they had a little area where you could sit down and have a sandwich or whatever. Sitting inside there, we just bought sandwiches for people and just hung out. And it was just a really positive networking experience. I was pretty new to the organization still. It was probably one of the first ones I put together. And I was like, oh gosh, what are we doing? But it actually ended up turning out very well. And I think that's really what people look for, right? That networking part. And one of my second favorite memories is, and I run across the picture every once in a while, is Sean and his kilt.
Oh, yeah. Great.
that you were a
Hey,
few
September
years
is
ago.
Scottish Highland Games and Boma Golf. They go hand in hand. So I just wear my kilt all year, all month long.
Never comes off, right?
Never comes off.
A shirt and tie and a kilt to all of his meetings. No, I love that memory, and I love the pictures, and just some of the pictures that you see when we had photo contests and gave away silly prizes for people doing the best photos and posting them on social media. Some of those memories, just driving around the golf course, checking on people, covering people so they could go, hit the restroom or whatever, just sitting around and talking to people, and driving around the golf course and judging the whole sponsors and their setups and everything, and ice sculpture, and that one with the ice sculpture that one year, the poker table was so fun. So I think about all the experiences we've had over all the years. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be back out there again.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for it.
Christian, you've been around for a while on this too. What's your favorite?
I'm well over a decade now being out there. I don't know if I have one. I have a lot of little pieces. So, some of them are a little blurry. Especially when I was out there playing golf, and we'd be numerous beers and shots deep by the end of the day. So some of the memories are a little fuzzy. But all of my favorite. My advice to anybody who, it doesn't matter if you're new to Boma or not, but you want to really do up the golf day experience. Get there early, help set up, do stuff, just, do what you just help out with whatever needs to get done. Whether you're going to be at your hole, do that all day. Whether you play golf, do that all day. Whether you're just going to hang out all day, do that. And then come sit in the bar with us until they kick us out. That's the best way to talk to the most people. And that's kind of been my thing for a long time, is I'm going to be one of the first ones there. And I know I'm going to be the last one to leave.
Yeah. Always. I'm always like, hey, I got to go get my kids off the bus. And Christian's like, I got it covered.
Later.
Christian,
Yeah, have fun.
KK and I were the last ones to leave in 2019. So I can vouch.
Hey, you know what, Christian? I loved the year that Stack Rock Group did, you guys did the red carpet.
Yeah, that was fun.
The Oscar background.
Yeah.
And had the girls in their formal dresses taking pictures of people as they came through. It was red carpet. It was so fun.
That was fun. Yeah. We brought, I don't know, 5 or 8 people from our office, and we had a ton of fun that day.
That was a blast. I still have pictures of that.
I think we went through 12 bottles of Fireball that day, if I remember right.
We're not supposed to have
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Yeah.
Probably the thing that I think is from participating in the tournament, right? And there's so much that I've been involved with kind of on the back end, but when the day of comes, Jenny, we all probably know that feeling where, okay, finally the event's there and it's like, hey, for better or for worse, this thing's over, right?
Yeah,
and it's so much just kind of your heart and soul into it, right? And it's there. And then once the carts are rolling down the pathway, it's like everything's set in motion and you control 0 things. And then it's almost like a relieving of things once that first domino's knocked over. And so at that point, I remember, I feel like that every tournament, but then being able to see what the sponsors come up with and do. And since we've implemented this little contest, it's been a lot of fun. We've seen the poker games. One year, Dilavaz did the Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I remember that.
Really good. And I'm not sure if they won that year, or maybe we had a rule where you can't win it every year.
Dilavaz would. They would win it every year. Them and Designer Floors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The year before, they did sort of it was a duck hunting blind, and I think they raffled off a shotgun, and that was a really good one. I remember the ones that you guys did, Christian, where you're with the whole red carpet Hollywood thing, and maybe because I'm a dork, but I know Molly Sadlicek, she always has this soil quiz.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's their thing. Yeah, they do that in all golf tournaments everywhere. That's what they do.
Yeah. And so I thought about that before, because I always do really poorly at it, but you'd think with my background that'd be one thing that I would know. And so I'd be sure of cheating before, or maybe it's just I'm not familiar with the technical aspects, but the next time I take that quiz, I'm going to do them all how I think they shouldn't be. and I'll probably
Yeah.
win that. But
Exactly.
That's good strategy because I'm the same way. I get all of the, maybe get one right, maybe.
Yeah, and it's probably the same one every year, and we're just all not very informed on it. But
I always think I'm going to get them, and I never do.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
just
quite a
dirt.
few
How
every
hard
year,
can it be?
so maybe I should be working for MTI.
Seriously.
Hey, we need a cheat sheet. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. They give a prize to anybody, no matter how you do it. It's just a, it's a pride thing. Is
Yeah.
how crummy you feel when you leave that and go, well, I got none of those.
Yeah,
right.
if you really want to do well at that, have a civil engineer on your team.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So the other really cool one that stands out is TSS, Brian Lewis and that team there. They typically do a cool giveaway every
Yeah.
tournament.
Yes.
And I'm not bitter or resentful about it at all, but there was one year where I actually, thanks to Sean, I actually should have won those clubs. And
It was a vote between multiple people.
oh man, you guys, I was
I felt
off.
terrible about it. I felt terrible about it.
Everybody on the
I just
internet
happened to have the mic.
Sorry, my name was drawn and I just wasn't there, but I was there. I think I must have been working. That's what happened.
Oh no.
But that's a really cool giveaway, and they do that every single year. And some set of ping irons.
Yeah.
And
That, and they do the hole-in-one also. And there was one year when someone came so close to the hole-in-one. There's been 1 year out of all those times that they've done that where I feel like in 21, what we've all been through, somebody's got to get it. There's been a lot of golf played this last year. And, somebody's got to get close to that hole-in-one. I can't even clear the water there, so
Big pride.
it's
So,
bad.
we're talking about fond memories. Sean, do you have a particular one that comes to mind?
I there's so many. I just remember Jana, and there's always Jana and somebody in a cart flying around as fast as they can go to get to the next hole, running something for somebody. There's so many, so many vendors that show up and just, they just bring so many cool aspects, and you get to meet so many people. I like the social aspect. I think BOMA's amazing when we get to go to events, we get to meet people, and it's those small conversations that matter. So I don't have one particular memory. I think there's a bunch. We've just been here a lot today, and it just, it's fun to remember all of those historical memories that happen, and just to think we've been doing this for 21 years, and we're 30th one is crazy to me. It's just crazy.
I must have been like 9 years old when we started.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
something like that.
you started very, very young. Yeah, that would be some child labor laws.
True.
Or something. Hopefully, the statute of limitations is expired on that by now. Hopefully.
Well, I just have had a blast over the years organizing it, being on a committee and then kind of overseeing it and watching the golf committee just go and watching people just embrace the tournament. This year we were talking about and we've kind of been talking about this for a while, is trying to implement, because the funds we raise on this golf tournament, we typically love to send people to conferences for BOMA. If they can get that bigger perspective, through education and through participating in some of these things, that is where the money has typically gone. And we've looked for a while trying to find a way to raise some money for a local charity as well, because I think some of the charity golf tournaments do very well as far as raising money and impacting the community, right? And we have our organizations that we work with, like the Boys and Girls Club and Idaho Humane Society, and we've done different things for those organizations over the years, and been able to involve our members in really being a positive influence in the community and in being active in the community. And so we were trying to find a way to do that. And just so everyone knows, when you register for this, buckle up, because we think we've got it. We think we've got it. We think we're going to do something And I don't know that I want to let the cat out of the bag just now. We're going to have to meet with you guys closer to the event and really, once we've got our handle on this. But we're going to find a way to donate some money to a local charity through this golf tournament that is going to really have an impact. And we're excited about it. So watch out, watch for that. You know, marketing materials are going to start going out. We're going to start promoting the heck out of this on social media. And this one's going to be so fun. So, I mean, just today, we've come up with kind of an outline on this. So be watching. We're very excited about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm so excited, but I'm kind of bummed because I'm not great at keeping secrets. I like sharing it.
Right. I'm not either.
It's going to be hard.
So everyone will know by the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
We're excited. No, this is going to be great, for sure.
As it sits right now, who does the golf committee consist of right now?
Oh, there's a lot of people on the golf committee. Gosh.
Raise your hand.
List. Yeah. Mitch is, you know, now that it didn't happen last year, gosh, that was really hard to deal with. But we've got a lot of people. Oh, I can see Mitch in the list right now. Is that you in there? I'm looking around
That's
too.
me. I'm in the list. So right now I have a 20-person count.
Oh, wow.
On from last year's committee. So we'll be reaching out to you. If you were on last year's committee, we'll reach back out to plan this one again. But there's 20 people that volunteered for the committee, and a combination of that was also volunteers day of. And I would guess, I mean, we have a lot of volunteers day of usually show up to help. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. We need a lot of help packing swag bags, you know, organizing, gaining sponsorships, gaining, you know, just golfers in general. There's a lot that goes into this. So yeah, kudos to anybody who's able to dedicate their time and willing to step up and help out with the tournament. It's a lot of work, but we get it done.
I'm in with Sean. If you have the impression that, oh, they've got plenty of help, don't have that impression. If you'd like to pitch in, oh my gosh, there's lots to do. And I'm actually going back to 2018 and 2019, and a number of people on that list that aren't on our 20 list that I know probably would be up for that. So it takes a village really to put on a good event. It takes a mass of people. And with what we kind of have in mind, we're going to need to divide up and conquer these little sub projects. And so the committee is a good place to jump in and give some time. And whether you have a little bit of time, a lot of time, or you think you're not golf savvy, none of that matters. It's a full-on event. We have a number of people that just help us with the chaos of the registration table in the morning. That right there requires a certain amount of help that we need, you know. And so if you can only help out for a couple hours, we can totally use you. So don't let the numbers fool you. There's a place for you if you'd like to be involved.
And I know all of us have received phone calls already, right? All of us have received phone calls from people saying, well, we know that 2020 didn't happen. Just so you know, like RCF Commercial Cleaning said, just so you know, we're in for the prize table again. We totally love doing it. We love organizing it and putting it all out and kind of being part of that. And there are a lot of people that have already reached out and said, what can we do? How can we help?
Yeah, and Sean's promised that everything's going to go smooth and that we will be having the tournament. Right?
Yeah. I made a lot of promises, I promise.
Those calls off.
Make it happen.
I've gotten a few of those too, where, hey, we are going to have a tournament this year, right? And you're like, well, let me just check my crystal ball. Yep, we are. So there we go.
Man, you had time to get the crystal ball. I was backed in a corner, shuffling, just trying to.
Just say yes. Just say yes.
I just said yes. Yeah, eventually, after the 20th person, corners you just got to start saying, we'll make it happen.
Of course we are. Of course we are. Yeah.
And even if we have tee times as opposed to a shotgun start, even if we have, it spread out over the entire day, no matter what accommodations that we have to make, and we will gladly make them so we can hold the tournament for our members.
Yeah, as far out as that is, it's going to be really interesting to see where we're at then and what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
It seems far away, but these things seem to progress really slowly. Like, you think that things are going to be so different by September.
Yeah, it's April already. Yeah, September will be here before we know it.
Gosh.
And we'll be keeping an eye on some of the other golf tournaments that are happening. I have a feeling that a lot more will occur this year. There's only a couple that happened that pushed through last year. And I think we'll see a lot more this year.
Yeah.
I think now that the vaccines are out, less people are at risk. I think people are more comfortable getting back out and socializing and engaging in that again.
We've learned a lot in a year, though, right? I remember when it was last year, maybe June, July, August, before we made the decision, we were thinking, well, we just didn't have the same experience that we had now. We were thinking, are we going to do like waiver forms? Is it, how we do, liability? And there are all these questions and concerns. And I don't know that we have the perfect answers now, but I do know this, that everybody's a little bit more accustomed to things and distancing and hygiene and masks and all of these things. And, sometimes there's some theater that goes along with that, but I mean, it's super important to make sure that you're compliant. And in the end, when you're talking about people's health, you can't put a price tag on that.
Absolutely.
So for sure, we're going to, make sure things are done properly and correctly, but there isn't any reason why we can't, especially knowing what we know now, really, really pull that off. And Sean, I got to hand it to you. I think last year you were maybe the very last one that got on the ship with us and said, okay, and as you kick the
I
ground,
pushed hard to make it happen last year, and unfortunately, the argument was the argument that flipped it for me was really truly, if we host this tournament and somebody's grandparent dies or their mother dies or their kid die or something like that, what is that what you want to do? You wanted to push through the tournament and just because it's fun, or do you want to do the right thing? And that was truly, the right thing. So.
Yeah. I think I felt just about the same time you did. After you put so much work into it and so much heart. Meaning at the beginning of the year when everything shut down and we'd gotten the symposium behind us, we're like, woo, well, we'll get this out of the way and then we'll have golf in the fall. We had no idea, obviously, at that point, just how long this was going to stretch on. And it was the right decision for BOMA at the time to roll it forward. And we are so excited to kind of blow the doors off and have some fun, interesting, new things for sponsors to get behind, and just some new, it technically is the 30th, right? So we'll build that into it. And I mean, if it has to be 2 years worth of celebration in one, we can handle that, right?
We'll be just fine. Yeah.
So,
every confidence that people
I'm not afraid to make up for a little bit of lost time on celebrating. So.
And we can do it.
With the swag bags, what are the odds that there's maybe some hand sanitizer or masks involved?
One would be half a bag of hand sanitizer.
The odds are 100%.
And a pretty easy choice, right? If you're a marketing person or you're making a swag selection, right? Maybe not something that you traditionally have done, but it's kind of a staple.
It totally has become a staple, yeah.
Tons of companies that are labeling them, so it's really easy to get those. But we still need sunscreen in those packs. So please, whoever is supplying the sunscreen, make sure you send that to us. Don't swap out for hand sanitizer.
Yes, Analysis has done that in the past. That was a good one, providing sunscreen for everybody. We've had a few companies do that over the years.
Yeah. There's usually a thing of chapstick and sunscreen, and I usually need them because I usually forget them in my golf bag or they're sitting on the counter.
Yeah. And snacks.
And snacks, always snacks, always snacks.
Those are all good ideas. We're going to be putting together the swag bags and have a assembly party, some point in early September, right, or end of August. Put those together. So if the company has any.
Who was it that's done the bags for us the last couple of years? And I was at Bow Wow?
We have some cinch sacks. Yeah, we have some cinch sacks right now that we've
done great.
We have some leftover boxes from the symposium.
Here, have a golf box. This is handy.
We'll recycle them. Yeah. They might fit in the little golf containers.
They might.
They might, yeah. They're going to get all soggy when they're full of ice and beer, though.
That's true. They're not the same.
We could recycle them at the end of the day. Repurpose and recycle, guys. Come on.
Right. Right.
I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for, it's always interesting to see what people put together for that and the swag that we can hand out to the members. It's always fun for them to come in, check in at the registration table, figure out what cart they're on, and then to go to that cart and have it like full of stuff. So they already have it. It's designed usually with BRS Architects. Somebody has it on there. The snack cart drives by with Sundance Company on it, and they get in their cart and they have this, BOMA swag bag or whatever, and it's full of stuff from all the sponsors. We're always looking for prizes, for giveaways. I see a lot of stuff, creative stuff, because, during this past year when we couldn't be together, there's been a lot of good creative ideas virtually that we can share, and also just certificate wise that people like to share. So I have a feeling we'll have some of that in there. And, we do still have player spots. I know that, and sponsor spots, right? And we're coming up with new ideas for levels of sponsorship that people can jump on, since we did roll it forward when we have so many new members now, and they're looking for ways to get involved. So we'll be doing that. We'll be updating the website. Christian's all over it and getting the website done up. And that was so popular, the format that you did it for the symposium.
Yeah,
and rolling that into our social media sites too, that is going to be awesome. I think the sponsors are going to love that, and the personal attention that they get through, all those virtual promotion type things that we put together. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
And that's and you bring up a really good point, Jana. I mean, as far as like players and teams, that's limited. That's not up to BOMA Idaho at all. That's just how golf works. There can only be so many people, so many teams. But with sponsorships and getting involved, this is our thing. We can do whatever we want. I mean, if there's a cool idea, we can absolutely do that. So if anybody's watching, and you have an idea and you want to get involved and you don't see it on the, official sponsorship website or form or whatever, that doesn't matter. Call Mitch, Jana, Sean, or me, and let's talk about that. Let's do something fun and cool.
Yeah, and your wild and crazy ideas aren't dismissed. We've got a few right on our mind, as a matter of fact, and so we can help you make it a reality.
Yeah.
Special.
Oh, I'm excited, you guys. And registration is going to open officially, online only registration is going to open officially. Oh, bless you.
Yeah. Tried to hide that one from the mic.
Corona.
I think we're going to open, when are we going to open registration, Mitch? May 1st?
May. We do, just to give a little bit of a peek behind the curtains, folks that have sponsored for a number of years and have their area, their spot, or their hole, we give them the option to hang on to that. And so a little bit of that will be happening the second half of the month. But then once those pieces are kind of in place, it's a jigsaw where some of the edges are in place. There's still a lot of fill. And so at that point, we'll press go on Eventbrite, probably right around the 1st of May, right, Sean and Christian? And then you can jump in. And so make your plans now, and we'll find a way to include you.
Yeah, if we can get it up earlier, we will. But yeah, give those people some time. And I think it worked out really well for Eventbrite, where we just put T-hole sponsor, and then I gave you a call afterwards to figure out what holes were available and where you prefer stuff. If you do have a hole preference, T-box preference, let us know, and we can try to work that out. So.
1 and 2 times we can accommodate you, or get you close, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Exciting stuff.
Okay. Well, guys, I think we're kind of up against time here. Any parting thoughts or anything you want to say before we sign off?
Go practice your swing.
Yeah, practice, and I look forward to seeing everybody. It's going to be
exciting. Don't back out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be a good year. It's when you have what goes up, must come down. But when you have an off day or week or month, it's like you're gonna have an up, right? Last year was kind of an off year. This is the up year, you guys. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree with that. It's gonna be awesome.
Cool.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks you guys. We'll talk to everybody soon.
Hey.
Okay, bye.